Humphrey Bogart's closing self-indamey well-known shows what we all suspected. Humphrey Bogart changed into born Humphrey DeForest Bogart on December 25, 1899, in New York City, changed into one of the maximum iconic actors within the history of Hollywood cinema. Known for his different gravelly voice, piercing gaze, and tough guy demeanor, he left an indelible mark on each film and popular way of life. With his complicated characters, often gambling, morally ambiguous roles, Bogart had become the fundamental anti-hero of the 1940s and 1950s. His versatility as an actor ranged from portraying private detectives to World War II veterans, regularly with an underlying vulnerability that resonated deeply with audiences. His wonderful profession spanned over 3 decades, from the early days of his level and film profession inside the 1930s to his very last movies within the early 1960s. Bogart's early life became a ways from the glamorous international of Hollywood. Raised in an higher center class-owned family, his dad and mom, both specialists, had high expectancies for him, but he struggled with a feel of aimlessness in his kids. His first brush with appearing came at some stage in his time on the prestigious Phillips Academy in Andover, Massachusetts, wherein he seemed in numerous faculty productions. After serving inside the U.S. Navy for the duration of World War I, Bogart's career started in earnest in New York City, in which he to begin with labored inside the theater before making his way into movies. Although his early film profession consisted of supporting roles and B-film appearances, it became throughout the 1940s that Bogart sincerely cemented his region as a main man. His leap-forward performance got here with the 1940 film traditional The Maltese Falcon, directed by way of John Huston, wherein he portrayed the sharp-witted and cynical non-public detective Sam Spade. This film marked the start of Bogart's affiliation with movie noir, a style in which he might excel. Tough, yet vulnerable characters have become a signature that defined his career and won him legions of devoted fanatics. Bogart's collaboration with director Howard Hawks and actress Lauren Bacall within the 1940s produced some of the most iconic movies in Hollywood records, consisting of To Have and Have Not, 1944, The Big Sleep, 1946, and Key Largo, 1948. His relationship with Bacall additionally blossomed off display screen, and the two became certainly one of Hollywood's most famous couples. Marrying in 1945, their on-screen chemistry turned into plain, and their films together have become a cornerstone of 1940s cinema. Another landmark in Bogart's career got here together with his role in Casablanca, 1942, one of the most beloved movies in cinema history. Playing Rick Blaine, an American expatriate bar proprietor within the Vichy-managed Casablanca for the duration of World War II, Bogart added an overall performance that is each stoic and deeply emotional. The film, with its unforgettable strains, Here's Looking at You, Kid, its themes of affection, sacrifice, and patriotism, and its unforgettable track, cemented Bogart's legacy as one of the best actors in movie records. Casablanca now not best delivered Bogart a new level of fame, but also earned him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. Throughout the 1940s and 1950s, Bogart continued to showcase his range, starring in films which include The African Queen, 1951, for which he gained the Academy Award for Best Actor, The Caine Mutiny, 1954, and In a Lonely Place, 1950. His overall performance in The African Queen was specially memorable because it allowed him to painting an extra inclined and humorous side of his persona, triumphing over critics and audiences alike. His win for Best Actor on the Academy Awards for his function in The African Queen changed into one of the maximum properly deserved honors of his career, as it showcased his capability to transform into massively different characters, from the embittered alcoholic Charlie Alnett to the hardened yet gentle-hearted Rick Blaine. As the 50s came to a near, Bogart's fitness began to become worse due to his lifelong smoking habits. He became identified with esophageal most cancers, and his health hastily declined. Despite his declining circumstance, Bogart remained dedicated to his craft, finishing his final film, The Harder They Fall, 1956, before his loss of life. On January 14, 1957, Humphrey Bogart exceeded away on the age of 57, leaving at the back of a frame of labor that continues to be celebrated through movie enthusiasts round the world. Humphrey Bogart's last smartphone name offers a poignant and revealing glimpse into his person, supplying insight into his personal life and the legacy he left behind. As one of the maximum iconic actors of his technology, recognized for his hard-man personality, it's smooth to anticipate that the person in the back of those unforgettable roles, like Rick Blaine in Casablanca or Sam Spade in The Maltese Falcon, could have been a cold, hardened individual. However, his final cell phone name casts doubt on that assumption, unveiling a far softer and more inclined facet of the actor that many people didn't fully respect at the time. Humphrey Bogart, who had already been struggling with a warfare with esophageal most cancers at some stage in the very last years of his life, turned into regarded to be fiercely private. Despite his public persona as a brooding, tough-edged, leading guy, those closest to him have been well aware of his humanity and the warm temperature he had under the floor. The very last cell phone call he made just a brief time before his demise changed into an intimate and telling second that gave folks who were aware about it a glimpse of his authentic man or woman. In those final moments, rather than talking approximately commercial enterprise, paintings, or his mythical popularity, Bogart targeted on something far extra non-public: love. The smartphone call became made to his wife, actress Lauren Bacall, who had been by using his aspect all through his infection. At the time, Bacall changed into grappling with the approaching lack of her husband, and the conversation turned into full of gentle phrases of love and challenge. Bogart, in his weakened state, instructed Bacall how a great deal he loved her, and how grateful he changed into for the existence they had shared together. This easy trade of words, although quick, proven that below the tough exterior of his on-screen personality, Bogart turned into deeply connected to the people he loved. It was a far cry from the tough guy image he had cultivated in movies, showing that even the most powerful amongst us have moments of vulnerability. Furthermore, this very last smartphone name underscored the topic of affection and loss that ran at some point of a lot of Bogart's iconic roles. In movies like Casablanca and To Have and Have Not, his characters frequently wrestled with deep emotional conflicts, and Bogart's portrayal of these complex emotions endeared him to audiences. His final smartphone name turned into, in lots of ways, a reflection of the poignant, bittersweet relationships he portrayed in his films. It became a moment of authentic human connection, revealing that, just like the characters he played, Bogart valued the bonds he had with the ones closest to him chiefly else. Humphrey Bogart's remaining smartphone call also discovered his worry of what changed into come, knowing his fitness turned into deteriorating hastily. The call carried an undercurrent of sadness and anticipation for the inevitable. Bogart's capability to openly explicit love and issue at such an inclined time helped to melt the blow of his demise, each for his family and for his fanatics. The call, now not most effective, highlighted the electricity of his emotional bonds, but also gave a sense of closure to people who had well known him from afar for so long. This second in time offers us a deeper information of who Humphrey Bogart honestly became. It shatters the myth of the unfeeling tough guy and replaces it with a person who became able to deep love, tenderness, and emotional intensity. His ultimate smartphone call serves as a reminder that even the most apparently invincible figures are prone to the same human reports we all face: love, loss, and the passage of time. The vulnerability and heat Bogart confirmed in the one's very last moments left an indelible mark on people who witnessed it. And in doing so, it cemented his legacy not only as a legendary actor, however, as a person who became more than the jobs he performed. Ultimately, Humphrey Bogart's final telephone call did indeed reveal what a lot of us had suspected. Beneath the hard-boiled persona, he changed into a coronary heart. Just like the relaxation people, someone who cherished deeply and feared dropping those he loved. This uncooked second serves as an effective reminder of the humanity in the back of the reputation, and of the long-lasting strength of love and connection, even in the face of demise.